Greetings, everyone out there in internet land. My name is Troy Bernier, and I'm with the Miami International Science Fiction Film Festival. And I hope you enjoyed the latest little film we shared. This film was hosted on YouTube, and it is titled, The World, the Flesh, and the Devil. This film was produced, or should I say released, in 1959. It's a science fiction, and it's a sci-fi doomsday film that was written and directed by Randall McDougall. The film stars Harry Belafonte, who at the time was at the peak of his film career. Isn't that something? But this film was set in a post-apocalyptic world with very human survivors, and it is based on two sources: the 1901 novel, The Purple Cloud, and the story called The End of the World. However, if you watch this film, I would say that you felt like it was a lot like some films we may have seen in the not so distant past. And that would mean it's older than those films. This is kind of like where they got the idea. I totally saw that. And those two films are, the first one is called Omega Man, that had Charlton Heston in it. And the second one is I Am Legend, which is a remake of Omega Man. I found the film to be pretty, shot really well. The cinematography was out of this world. Just a little open up the room for comments here if you have any comments or questions or anything you want to add. We're going to keep this short tonight. But it was shot very well, and actually its reviews highlighted the fact that it was cinematically quite pleasing. It got very good reviews because of its cinematography. The film it is interesting trivia about the film here, and that is that the Paramount, who was the production company, they wanted to produce the film under a different title in 1940, but it was delayed. They revisited the project in 1945. However, by this time, many studios were already making films that dealt with nuclear warfare after the atomic bombings in Japan. So if the market saturated, production was put on hold again. And it wasn't until 1956 when Saul Siegel purchased the rights to The Purple Cloud, and The World, the Flesh, and the Devil would finally be produced. With this film, Siegel held a strong ideal and hoped that blending the issues of race and nuclear war would catalyze audiences to find some kind of resolution. Interesting, huh? Now get this part. Harry Belafonte's production company, Harbell Productions, helped co-produce the film. So Harry Belafonte was a producer of this film, not only being one of the top leading actors of the time and at the top of his career. He hoped to create films that will accurately depict African American lives and the experiences, as well as promote an African American presence in Hollywood filmmaking. And this was the first film that his company helped to produce. That was their first job. This film had a budget of $1.6 million. Its box office rentals, when we say box office rentals, that means the theaters, those distribution theater companies. That's what the rentals mean. And the fees they produced out of that was a little over $1 million, which left a slight deficit. However, there was some trouble when they were shooting the film. The original ending was reshot for various reasons. The scene quality differing between different shooting locations. So we as filmmakers understand what this means. If different locations, you're going to have different issues regarding lighting, quality of the content of the film because of the film stock, different production office arguments, and the effect, the original ending being different than what was artistically ended. So there was a lot of infighting on this. Apparently, all three co-stars, Inger, Mel, and Harry, complained to the producer, Siegel, the big producer, during production that they were concerned by the representation of race in the film. Get this part. Harry Belafonte was paid $350,000 against 50% of the net profits. So he had a really good deal in that. That back in 1959, that would buy you at least, I don't know, about 20 houses back then. That's a lot of cash back then. The film premiered in Cleveland, Ohio, in April of 1959, according to MGM, that's Metro Goldwyn Mayer Records. The film earned theatrical rentals of 585,000 US and Canada, so that's the North American market, and $500,000 elsewhere, resulting in a loss of $1.4 million. So that's I don't know what the typical stats were during that time, but it said the film was a loss, at least for that part coming out of the box. There was a lot of critical response. The film was praised for its cinematic quality, like I was speaking about earlier, but it also received quite a bit of negative criticism after its release. Many people complained that the ending lacked any real message or significance. Now, that really depends on who's saying it. So if we look at number six, so the reference, that was Turner Classics. Back in 2022. Come on. Anyway, that's not a really good reference. But somebody just a couple of weeks ago, well, a couple of years ago, didn't like the movie. It says here, if we look at some of the other ones here, that the film was released 5 years after the beginning of the American Civil Rights Movement, and critics felt that it let down by its alleged failure to solve any racial conflicts, since the three survivors banded together in the end, making their trials and tribulations throughout the movie amount to nothing. And once again, that's that same reference, which I think is relatively insignificant, reference to the past. But then there are two other references. Number 9, this was back in 1959. It was a Time magazine review. Time magazine reviewed, and they didn't care too much for it back in 1959. And we can all know why they probably said that. That's the next final reference. Oh, this is a good one. Was summer of 2012, and that was Jacqueline Forch. Her article was "The Last Man Standing: Interracial Sex and Survival in Post-Nuclear Films." Oh, that must be a good read, because she summarizes bulk of films from 1951 to 2007. So that's not bad. That must be a really good read. I'm gonna probably grab that. It's probably worth giving a further review of this. Once again, folks, there's a few of you watching, so please, by all means, feel free to leave a couple comments. That'd be great, or questions or suggestions. Those will all be welcome. One other thing I wanted to point out, and that is this also highlights a really interesting um, spin, and that is this story, even though it may seem quite original, um, but it's also highly associated with the purple cloud. But there's also another piece that I was looking at and said that it's very similar to the short story. Get this one. The short story called The Comet that was written in 1920 by W.E.B. Du Bois. Can you imagine that? What a gem. That's something I'm going to dig in. The Comet. Um, then the comet. So let's pay attention to that for a second. The comet discusses relationships between Jim Davis and Julia after a comet hits New York City and unleashes toxic gases that kill everyone in New York except them. Wow. I want to say there was a film, something like The Comet, somewhere in the 80s or 90s. I really want to say so. But however, this original published story was in the 10th chapter of Du Bois' Dark Water Voices from the Veil. The Comet was reprinted in the 2000 anthology Matter, the anthology of science fiction, fantasy, and speculative fiction by Black writers. And it helped lay the foundation for what we know today as Afrofuturism. Pretty interesting. All right, well, that's all I pretty much have, unless the floor is open for discussion. And I don't have anybody else that has any more words about it. I personally enjoyed the film. I'd watch it quite a few times. It's done very well. I really enjoyed it. I thought the acting was very good. Inger Stevens, she's very good, and Mel Ferrier, his role was also quite significant, along with the excellence of Harry Belafonte, who took it upon himself to be one of the producers of this wonderful film. That's, I can almost guarantee you, hardly anybody knows about. Well, that's it for this little fireside chat, and I hope everyone has an enjoyable evening. I hope you're enjoying some of the virtual films. More will be uploaded tomorrow for you to continue to watch. And remember, this will run until the end of next weekend, and that will be done for the season. Thank you so much, and have a fabulous evening.
last known case of a robot allegedly killing a human being. The causes of this tragic incident are still under investigation. But it has raised troubling questions about the potential danger of advanced artificial intelligence. We must take the risks posed by these machines seriously and prepare for a future where robots may not always act in our best interests. This incident should be a wake-up call for all of us to have us about the ethical and social implications of creating machines that can think and act like humans.
Did you see that? Yes, it's a jumper. I mean, they are attacking us. They are destroying everything. I need to get out of here.
We understand that this news may be unsettled, but we want to assure you that we're taking all necessary precautions to ensure the safety of our citizens. We ask that you stay indoors and avoid any unnecessary travel.
How am I supposed to fly this, Nick? I have zero experience, only in the simulator. Don't close the door, Nick!
And 35 connected.
What? A transformer? No shit! Nick, the exit! Can you open it? Nick! Nick!
What are we doing here, Amy? What are we doing here, Amy?
不思議よね。でもなんか温かい気持ちだけは残ってる。
気持ちね。
So, who is he?
I told you, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm so blind! Go get banged out.
You okay? You've been awfully quiet today.
I just keep hoping that he could change.
Come on, Troy.
A cube? You sure about this?
Yeah.
Who are you? Take your feet!
What was that?
I just don't understand how a 33-year mission can yield such catastrophic results.
With respect, Ambassador, it took decades to discover that you couldn't terraform Mars.
Yes, but...
The failure doesn't lie with Endeavour or any of my crew.
This is a PR nightmare.
People need some hope.
People are dying anyway. I mean, come on. I'm the one that's gonna have to tell
It doesn't matter.